Hello, good morning. Welcome to Jury News Desk. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Coming up this morning, voting underway in the Assin North By-Election. We're live on the ground for the latest development. Meanwhile, Fitch Solutions says the NDC is most likely to win the 2024 presidential elections. How so? We will find out. And on the regional qualifiers of the National Science and Maths Quiz, Kumaka, Konongo, Odumase, two others head for national championship. We have all the details plus business coming up this morning. Please stay for details. Many thanks for choosing us. The opposition NDC is most likely to win the 2024 presidential elections. That's according to Fitch Solutions in its analysis titled Positive Shift in Ghana's Political Risk Profile following IMF program approval. According to the UK-based firm, the rapid deterioration of the economy in 2022 and slow progress in the fight against perceived corruption will exacerbate anti-incumbency sentiment among the electorate. In a July 2022 Afrobarometer study, 85.0% of Ghanaians believed the government was doing a poor job in tackling corruption. This, according to Fitch Solutions, will exacerbate anti-incumbency sentiment among the electorate. Joining us, Assistant Editor Elton Broby joins us via Zoom with more on that report. Elton, what more do we know?
So, Aisha, the report is in two parts. The part about the likely outcome of the 2024 general elections and, of course, the impact of the IMF program on the populace and the fact that it can lead to social instability in the country. So let me start from what Fitch came to in their conclusion on how government social intervention programs may be having impact on the populace vis-a-vis the IMF program. Now, the IMF has voiced concerns over President Akufo-Addo's flagship free senior high school program introduced in 2017 to enable people of school-going age to access education for free at the senior high school level. The IMF labels it poorly targeted. Potential modification to the program in order to rein in spending could weaken the FPP's campaign agenda, increasing the chances of an NDC win. This is the conclusion of Fitch. Now, the report says that, and I'll quote here, we believe that the NDC is most likely to win. The rapid deterioration of economic conditions in 2022 and slow progress in the fight against perceived corruption are some of the things that they are of the view that can help trigger an NDC win. In July 2022, Afrobarometer study suggests that 85% of Ghanaians believed the government was doing a poor job in tackling corruption, will exacerbate anti-incumbency sentiment among the electorate. Now, the report also highlights the potential impact the IMF program, which is in its first year, will have on the economy and social instability. Now, let me quote to you what it reported in the July edition. Fitch says that it believes that the IMF assistance will improve economic conditions in Ghana and therefore might limit risks to social instability this year, 2023 and 2024. The government will likely meet the IMF targets over the coming months as opposition lawmakers will only offer modest pushback against economic reform. And they believe that the opposition NDC is best placed to win the December 2024 general elections as fiscal consolidation weakens the incumbency government's campaign's agenda. So this is the conclusion of Fitch. It says that despite our view that a government change is likely after the 2024 general election, we believe that the risks to Ghana's IMF program are limited. So Aisha, this is the conclusion of Fitch. They are of the view that the IMF program, even though it imposes some restrictions on Ghanaians, including imposition of new taxes, quarterly review of utility tariff, as well as some taxes that are likely to impact on your living conditions. They are of the view that it will not lead to social instability in the country. But the effects of the IMF program is giving advantage politically to the NDC ahead of the 2024 general elections.
Assin Brobe, assistant editor, Joy News, bringing us updates and in that report by Fitch Solutions. Now, voting is underway as three political parties, the New Patriotic Party, the National Democratic Congress, and the Liberal Party of Ghana, LPG, have presented candidates to battle it out for the Assin North parliamentary seat today. The seat became vacant after the Supreme Court on Wednesday, May 17, unanimously declared unconstitutional the election of James Datikwason as the MP for the area. The highly anticipated by-election was, however, necessitated after Parliament wrote to the Electoral Commission declaring the seat vacant. The two major political parties, the NPP and the NDC, have since thronged the constituency to sway voters to their side in order to win the seats and bolster their numbers in the legislature. Let's cross over to the constituency for an update on the voting. Richard Kwejo and Ohim Interior are there for us. Richard, has voting started in all polling stations?
Voting started very early at 7 a.m. The stage was set. The polling centers that I visited, they had set the stage and people had already queued. They started queuing an hour earlier. Both the young and the old, they were eager to cast their ballot. This time they said that they were determined to allow their terms to do the talking for them. So in one of the polling stations that is just close by, it has a voter population of 421. The last time that I checked, that was about 5 minutes ago. 78 people had cast their ballot. The one adjacent to that polling station, the voter population is 428. The last time I checked, 58 persons had cast their ballot as well. So things have generally been smooth here at the polling centers here in Assin Breku, where I am. Let me engage some of the observers that have come. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, so you have been observing the process. Tell me your impressions.
Thank you very much. So far, so good. Elections are going on smoothly, and people are comporting themselves. As you know, I am a stakeholder in this election as a regional secretary, so I've been going around and everything is on course. Everything points to the fact that the NPP is cruising to victory this evening. Yes, that the NDC, they are sharing money. I can say that they are sharing money. They are sharing money.
What did you find? What did you see? What makes you come to this conclusion?
The former NDC constituency chairman for Fatima, Chairman Moore, I saw him with the constituency organized from Fatima, who is assembly member for Befi Krum, Yankson. I saw them, and Chairman Moore said,
what you are saying, we have not seen this evidence that you talk about. So let's move on. So this is the regional secretary of the NPP in the central region, and you are alleging, but here at Assin Breku, they are also alleging that the NPP is also sharing money.
Did they mention anybody's name? I've given you evidence telling the people who are involved. Chairman Moore, when I saw it, I was...
Chairman Moore is not here to defend himself, so let's move on.
I've given you the names and given you the places. So, but that is not going to change anything. The people are determined. They've recognized what the NPP government and Ananado has done for them, and what Chasopoku as a candidate has done for them even before becoming a candidate. So everything points to the fact that the good people of Assin North are going to reward the NPP and Chasopoku this evening by voting massively for Chasopoku.
Okay, so let's move on and then engage more people here at the voting centers here. Let me speak with you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please tell me your impression. You visited some of the polling centers already. Tell me how things are shaping up.
Yeah, so far I've been to Akonfede, I've been to Asampana here, and before then we had gone to Kushia, and now we are at Breku here. I think so far people were very active in the morning. You know, the queues were long and people were voting quite orderly. And so far it's been very good. It's been calm now, and we hope that this will continue.
Used not to be calm when it started?
Yes, of course, people wanted to find themselves in the queue, so that they could vote early. But when they saw that the police presence and then the electoral officers were all doing everything in a very methodical and peaceful way, people relaxed. And so far, it's been good.
Well, so tell me, there have been accusations and counter-accusations, vote buying, sharing of money and all of that. Have you personally seen some money shared?
There is absolutely no evidence from where I've been.
You've also heard?
I heard when I came to Breku here, but then the person who was making the allegation, I specifically challenged, because I'm an observer, challenged the person that, look, let me have the evidence, or you can take the evidence to the police. And the person said he would go and then find the evidence and come back. So far, nothing has been reported. So we take it that it's just mere allegation, and we should not allow that to ruin the day for us.
What are your expectations going forward?
I'm expecting that Assin North would win come 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock when the results are declared. The victory is for Assin North, the victory is for Ghana. Of course, there are candidates who are representing various political parties, but the beauty of it is that it will be a victory for Assin North.
Okay. So 3 individuals have put themselves up to be voted for in this by-election. Charles Opoku of the MPP, the LPG candidate, as well as George Achikwesin, who is also standing in the name of the NDC. George Achikwesin, we've just visited the polling center where he is expected to cast his ballot. He's not done so. We've also seen Charles Opoku visiting the polling centers, one polling center to the other. But there have been a lot of people that have been passing through, observing the process. Professor Jena Opoku-Agyeman, the 2020 running mate of the NDC, has been here, and she's expressed satisfaction about the entire process, and she's hoping that the process will continue as smoothly as she saw it this morning. She came in the company with in the company of Marietta Briwa-Piopong, the former Attorney General, and she also expressed same. She felt that whoever wins should be a victory for the people of Assin North and the entire country's democracy. So far, it's been smooth sailing. The chaos and the pandemonium you will witness here will not be within the polling centers, but outside the precinct of the polling centers. These are the places that you will see the chaos, and it's been alleged that those who are engaged in that are not from this constituency, but they are from other constituencies that are coming to support their political parties or the other. Let's try and speak with some of them.
We want to tell them we are more than them.
Okay, so tell me, who is more than who?
Question is more than them.
Why are you saying that?
Because question is going to win.
What makes you believe that question is going to win?
Looking at the grounds, a lot of people are poised to vote for question. Everything shows clearly that question is winning. But if MPP want to do development, you don't wait till the voting day that you do development. Show clearly desperation are setting for MPP. They are losing this election. No matter what, they are going to lose. And question is going to win at the end of the post.
Do you have a vote in this constituency?
No, I don't have a vote here. I'm for the next time. It's because of the good works of the question. That is why I'm here. So I'm here to support him because he has been very helpful and supportive to the community. That is why I'm here to do everything possible in my side to support question to win.
What kind of possible thing are you doing?
When you look at myself,
because I can hear shouts and the making of noise.
There are some people there. Some of them are classmates. Some of them have been to school. And some of them are my working colleagues. Some are families. So I'm going all around to talk to them. I've brought even more than 15 people from my side to come and vote for Kwesi. They have already cast their vote. I'm going around to bring the rest of them to come and vote for Kwesi.
All right. So let me engage you. What's your name?
My name is Engineer Ebenezer Aidu.
Do you have a vote in this constituency?
No, I'm from Hunter West constituency.
So why are you here?
Well, I'm a true NDC person. I'm a former constituency vice chairman for Hunter West. And this is the time the party needs me. Our regional youth organizer, a national youth organizer, mobilize us all as youth to come and support Kwesi. So some of us are here as observers, some of you are also here to do operating works, and that's why we are here.
So you feel that by the close of polls, Kwesi will win?
Kwesi is winning. I've been here since Friday. And if you listen to the grounds, no amount of money, no amount of intimidation, no amount of whatsoever can take the victory away from Kwesi. If you're a true politician and you put your ears on the ground. Even though the MPP is sharing 200 cities in the various strongholds of Kwesi to make sure that they neutralize the vote, they are not getting it. The people are taking the money, but they are still voting.
The MPP is daring you that you don't have any evidence to what you are saying.
We do have evidence. We'll give you the evidence. When we finish the evidence right here on my phone, I'll push it to you for you to push it to the good people of Ghana out there that they are sharing money. And anybody who said they are not sharing money, even when we're at the other booth, they were they go to the booth, take the picture, and then they will come to the V8 over there, and then they will go and take the money. And as they are saying, they just arrested somebody over there.
So tell me, what are your expectations?
Oh, question is winning today. It's winning with a wider margin.
Do you have a vote here? Are you voting? Have you voted?
I'm from Assin North By-Elections.
So what makes you believe that question is because you don't have a vote even here?
Sometimes your good works will speak for you. Look at the message in the mouth of most of the voters now. Everybody is expecting a by-election is our constituency. Because the person knows that when there is a by-election, definitely that person is going to see a development. That should not be the case. This government has been the most fortunate government, taxes also all over, but we are not seeing any development. But when Kwesi stepped in Assin North, you've seen the lighting of all the areas in the constituency. You could see they've touched development. So it is not the by-election that you want to take it from them. Last year there was a revelation. For 2 years, Kwesi hasn't received any of his common fund, but still the man is doing something for Assin North. That's why I'm the youth organizer for Takrady constituency. Pablo organizers to come here, work. I'm from Assin North By-Elections. We have a link. Assin North By-Elections is Assin Central, this is Assin North. We have a link. We are all Assins. We are mobilizing the voters to come out and vote massively for voting. And we know they will vote for Kwesi, and Kwesi is going to carry the day after 5 p.m.
So we will speak with more of them. But Joe Kwesi, the NDC candidate, has just arrived and is going to cast his ballot. And so in your shots, is Georgia Kwesi being mobbed by supporters of the party? They are bringing him to the police station, led by Sami Jemfi, the communications officer of the NDC. And so you see how Kwesi is making that entry into the police station to cast his ballot. It's been an interesting sight here, how people believe that their respective candidates will win. And so that is what you see. So we are eagerly waiting for the NDC candidate Georgia Kwesi to come to his polling center to cast his ballot here at Assin Breku. And so we are anxiously waiting for Georgia Kwesi to come here. So Georgia Kwesi is just entering the polling station. It's been cordoned off, and he will be the only one that will be granted access to the place in order for him to cast his ballot. Many of the people want to catch a glimpse of Georgia Kwesi casting his ballot, and they feel that that will signal victory for the NDC. So the police are trying to maintain order. They are announcing that the people that are rushing in should go back. They shouldn't cause any chaos here. So the announcement is being made by DCOP Paul Awini. So this is what is happening.
So as you can see in your on your screens just a while ago, James Dachukwason, who is the a candidate for the NDC, has just gone to the polling station to cast his ballot. You saw the crowd that flanked him, and the security people had to come in to maintain order. Earlier, the two parties met the IGP and they expressed satisfaction with what the police told them, and they've actually expressed satisfaction with the number of police people who will be guiding this election. Later, we'll go back and find out if security has been well maintained. But as you can see in the shot, it's a whole lot of people surrounding the NDC candidate Dachukwason, who is yet to cast his ballot in the Assin North election. And you heard Kojo Nyako talk about the fact that there's been Nano Pukwajiman, who is the 2020 running mate of the NDC. She's been there. The former Attorney General has been there. They've all been happy with how things have gone so far. Let's go back to Assin North. Kojo Nyako is still there for us.
Now what waba?
Me na man to maba.
Want to about it?
Me dabi.
I didn't tell
me ayi opoku. Me opoku me na matuaba. Me opoku me ntuaba wa ha. Oyi dia onye opoku. Oya Canada ni so abatu na aba. Me amagina as opoku no. Me ntuaba. Na me de metmawi ni. Me
ka wankasa.
Me opoku. Me se me opoku.
No opoku bia na ntuaba.
Na ntuaba, me ntuaba ni bi. Ono de otuaba, ntuaba betuaba.
So this gentleman is saying that because Opoku is not voting, he's not also voting, but George Dachukwason is voting. And so once George Dachukwason, who is from Canada, who is perceived to be from Canada, is voting, that is what is happening here. So George Dachukwason has returned. I'm not sure it is time yet for him to come and cast his ballot.
Yeah, Kojo Nyako, so in the lead up to this election, we've seen counter accusations by both parties about how they are bringing in thugs to cause chaos and violence. But we also know that their meeting with the IGP was successful because they both were satisfied with the security preparations for today's event. What can you report in terms of security? Nyako is still our man there. You saw earlier the crowd that assisted George Dachukwason. He wanted to go and cast his vote. We're told that it's not time yet for George Dachukwason to cast his vote. But just so you know, he's the NDC candidate for the by-election. Of course, if you've been following events, you know that there's been a court case which threw him out of Parliament because the Supreme Court said he had breached the Constitution, Article 92. And so there's been a by-election. So we'll be going back to Assin North as and when we get news from that area. But where to stay for all you need to know for the Assin North by-election is your election headquarters here on Joy News. We've got you covered for the whole day. We'll take a break on Joy News desk. When we return, there is more. And thanks for sticking with this channel on your election headquarters. It's told the Assin North by-election. It's been controversial, much anticipated, especially by both the two major political parties. As you can see in your screens, James Dachukwason is now going to cast his vote. He is the candidate for the NDC, and he is the one who created this vacuum after the Supreme Court declared his election as null and void, and so Parliament had to strike his name out. You can see that he's been flanked by the former Director of Elections of the NDC, Elvis Efriankra. You can see the communications officer, National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, also with him. A number of the NDC party officials who with James Dacho-Kwesing, and he's going to cast his ballot right now. Okay, so we are hearing that he's actually finished with casting his ballot. He's actually obviously going to meet some supporters, and you've seen earlier how they've chanted songs of victory for James Dacho-Kwesing. Hopefully we'll be hearing from him if he decides to speak with his supporters. Let's go back to Kojo Nyako. He is on the ground for us and hear what he has to say.
How does the president?
The people love this man. And you can see it. Afeni has started. By the time we are done, you will see the love the people have for him. No matter the intimidation, no matter sika ni pecheche, ni nyina be kwa. Bi onyame ehira no no we hira.
Sami obisi my mistake make say mo for Charles Opoku na eba. But my mistake.
Charles Opoku is a political prostitute.
Oh,
Oba ya hose. Yama honorable Kwesi Ntranche, Niama Nemra.
Exactly.
And yes, NDC,
Where was that? Where was that?
it will make the so.
Where was that?
Oh, I can give you WhatsApp chats with our executives. That's a political prostitute. No principles, no conviction, no track record. You don't even vote here. And no person here MP. Let's leave it to the good people of Assin North to decide.
Thank you. Now, have you regretted? And this more regretted some James now. Because contest is easy contest.
We could not have gotten any better option. Since this constituency was created in 2012, the parliamentary candidate from 2012, the Sinewenya Mapa in any election, is him 17,500. Ebro Biadieso, Ebro presidential candidate Biadieso. He's the most popular person from Assin North. You can see the love they have for him. And we are happy, we are excited that we have somebody like Dacho-Kwesing leading our campaign. Thank you.
No, that is Sami Jemfi, the communications officer of the NDC, indicating and alleging that Charles Opoku came to the NDC to tell them they should ignore George Dacho-Kwesing and allow him to contest as the candidate for this place, but they did not agree to that demand, and that is why he is describing Charles Opoku as a political prostitute, because he does not stick to one place. He came to them and he's saying that he can show us WhatsApp messages between himself and Charles Opoku, with Mr. Charles Opoku saying that he wants to join the NDC and they should allow him to contest in the name of the NDC. So that is currently happening. We are trying to get a word from Mr. George Achikwesin, who is just voted. He is clad in all white, and the supporters believe that George Achikwesin will be the eventual winner of this by-election. Meanwhile, the security has been very, very tight. We saw what happened when we went to the police center. Even though it's been a bit chaotic, but the security were able to put situations under control. And in terms of how the process is going, it's been going very, very smooth. He has voted. Now, the question many of the supporters of the NDC are asking is that now George Achikwesin has voted here. What about Charles Opoku? Because Charles Opoku cannot vote in this constituency as of now. And so this is what they are saying.
Has voted. The foreigner has voted. Now, the Ghanaian, that they say, they claim to be the citizen of Ghana. He should come and vote. We are waiting for them. Because our candidates have already voted. And they claim that he's a foreigner, Canadian. Now, we are waiting for the Ghanaian to come and vote. Yes, we are waiting for him to come and vote.
What has Charles done for you to repose that kind of confidence in him that he will win?
Sure, bro, sure. If it is more than 70%, then they means they have cheaters. That means you see have massaged the numbers. Yes.
Why will you be accusing the EC? Because now this is this process is free, fair, transparent.
Electoral Commission is with the MPP.
Why? I mean, I don't know that one for sure.
No, but me, I know.
On what basis are you saying that if you know?
Oh, but you know,
already told you that I don't know.
The deputy electoral commissioner, which is Boss Masari, said the NDC is a threat to democracy. So means it's in one side, and we know their attitude. I formally stay with J. Mensah. Jemesa at
supporters of the NDC
can see the NDC's candidate Achikwesin in the footages on the screens. He's just finished casting his ballot, and you can hear Kojo Nyako has been engaging a number of the electorates and supporters, and one of them, interestingly, said George Achikwesin, who has been described as a Canadian, has actually casted his ballot. They are waiting for Charles Opoku, who is a candidate for the NPP, to also come and cast his ballot, because they say he doesn't have a vote in that constituency, and they cannot fathom how he can lead them without he himself having a vote in that constituency. So earlier you saw the exciting, the charged supporters who are actually chanting songs of victory for James Achikwesin. You also heard the National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, describing the NDC's candidates. In fact, he's alleging that he came to them asking that they make him the parliamentary candidate, but they declined because they said he should join the queue. But then he describes him, he says it's the reason he describes him as a political prostitute. He also says that James Achikwesin is one of the candidates who has gained the most votes for the NDC in that constituency. And so they have no doubt at all that he will win this election. So it's something that we at Joy News on your election headquarters, we are monitoring keenly. Definitely our lenses are wide opened. We'll bring you all the sights and sounds from Assin North. You know where to stay. It's on your election headquarters. We'll be bringing you everything you need to know from Assin North as the election goes on. And your dial must be here throughout the day, because we'll bring you everything that happens on the ground till the time that the results are declared, till the time that a winner is declared. We definitely have analysis for you also on the Joy News channel. It's your election headquarters. This is where you need to stay for all that you need to know for the Assin North by-election. Still see James Dachekwesing in there, greeting the supporters who are just struggling, some wanting to come close to him to say hello, but you can see, and he's calm. If you look at his countenance this morning, he's very calm. I'm sure he's been advised not to speak, because you can see that wherever he goes is the communications officer that speaks for him. But no doubt there are a lot of people who are following him, a lot of people who want him to be victor in this election. He himself is very calm, clad in white, signaling victory. And you know how controversial this Assin North election has been. Definitely that matter is still in court, though. We heard the president talk about the fact that James Dachekwesing will go to jail, and that is why he wants people not to vote for him. But the former President Mahama has responded to that. He says James Dachekwesing will never go to jail. James Dachekwesing himself has come out to say that whatever the president said at their last rally in Assin North, they are all lies. And people have said that the president has been ahead of the court, but that also has been contested by the NPP camp. They say that the president didn't err in saying that. But of course, the Assin North election is one that will make a statement in Parliament as we speak. There is a vacuum or a vacant seat which is on the NDC side. We know we have 137 on both sides, but as we speak, the NDC has lost one seat already, and that is why we are having this by-election. So it is a very important election, especially for the NDC, because they cannot afford to lose the seat. If they lose the seats, that makes it 138 against 136. And you know what that means. We all can follow how conversations have been in Parliament over the period. And we know how heated it has been because of the hung Parliament that we've had. If this election skews towards the NPP, that would be unfortunate for the NDC. Definitely the reason they're putting in much efforts to ensure they maintain the seat. But also we've shared some data with you, and that tells you that ever since that constituency was split to North, South and Central, the NDC had made inroads, because when Kennedy Japan was contesting the Assin constituency, I mean, he had won over the period until 2012 when it was divided, split into three. And that is when the NDC has been making gains. In the last two elections, that is in 2016, a lady took over the seat from the NDC. But in 2020, James Dachekwesing came to knock her off and took the seat for the NDC. That is why the NDC feels they must win the seat at all costs. And so we've also seen the info analytics report, the polls that they made, and they declaring the NPP as winners of this election. But if you look at how it has been as the days go by, their prediction for the NPP kept reducing while the NDC's predictions went up. As at yesterday, the NDC, according to the info analytics, would get 46% in this elections, while the NPP garners 47%. And so it's like it's an election that is being keenly contested. And for me, the trick will be the Assin area where Georgia Chikwesin is coming from, and also the Charles Opoku guy, who is a candidate for the NPP, is also coming from there. But of course, as you've heard from the supporters, they say that Georgia Chikwesin has a vote there, but Charles Opoku doesn't have a vote there. I mean, how would all of these play? That is why you need to stick with your election headquarters on the Joy News channel. We have all that for you on this channel.